Why, hello there, and welcome to Two Dudes on the Radio.
Where the world is crazy, but luckily, so are we.
My name is Edward Boyce.
And I'm Shaner.
That's it, we did it.
2 for 2.
2 for 2, that was a little awkward, but we did it. I had to adjust your mic there, sorry if it was quiet there in the beginning.
Am I quiet still?
No, you're fine. It's just whatever reason, like, I have it all the way down to, like, 30.
Oh, he doesn't want to hear me.
Well, I think just because the people were very loud.
First he kicks me out of the room, then he kicks me off his radio show.
No, okay.
Soon it'll just be one dude on the radio.
No. I don't know if you've never, like, been in the Mac lab, but, like, sometimes the dudes are, like,
never
super
been
loud.
in the Mac lab.
Well, in the
I've
Mac
had, like, 3
lab...
classes in the Mac
Hold
lab.
on, let me finish. So you've ever been in the Mac lab while there's been a radio show going on.
Oh.
It gets really loud
They do their radio show in the Mac lab?
No. So they'll hear it in the Mac lab from here.
They're hearing it right now?
No. I'm saying, like,
I
those
am
times...
really
Okay,
confused.
let me start over. Whenever you're in the Mac lab, sometimes...
Uh-huh.
Okay? The people down here doing the show are so loud that you can hear them in the Mac lab, the room above.
That's impressive.
It's pretty loud, yeah.
Hi, Mac lab.
Hi, Mac lab. Anyways, okay. So, thank you for tuning in to Two Dudes on the Radio. If you're not already, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and YouTube, where we post a recording of our show.
We are still begging for your feedback.
Yeah, I know.
Take 3 seconds, leave us a comment.
Yeah, it's been tapering off a little bit, which thanks to your dad, Shaner, for that comment. I actually like responded to it. I'm sorry.
We've got some great families that leave us feedback. The rest of our viewers can leave us feedback too. We won't take offense to it. Just tell us what you think.
Yeah, Holly, I know you're listening to this.
And everyone else.
And everyone else. That's on YouTube, though. If you're
Stop ignoring us. We have feelings.
We have feelings,
We're
too.
human beings.
We're trying to look for gratification on the
Eddie
internet.
is.
Let's feel. Anyways, if you're listening to us live, thank you for listening to us live. I don't actually know anyone that's listening to us live.
I don't know.
But if you are, it'd be nice if
Someone
you
who
give us a
probably
shout out.
constantly listens to The Hive. It's always got it playing, and here we are.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to know if someone's listening. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna, I guess, jump right into our first section, which is your questions. We answer your questions.
So our question this week, our first one, comes courtesy of my brother, Benjamin.
Oh, thanks,
now,
Benjamin.
Isn't it funny? I feel like we've mirrored. So the first question we had of like the last 3 weeks
I would say this is
was
the
from
first
my
question.
not worst, first.
Oh, first. Okay.
So it was from my mom. Then you brought in the question from your mom.
Oh, that's
Then
true.
you
I
brought
didn't
in the
even
question
think about
from
that.
your brother, and now I've brought in the question from my brother.
You should just call this family question.
Family
time.
question. Well, no one else gives. Okay, I take that back. Some people give.
Yeah,
us
some
questions.
people.
But this question was really interesting.
Yeah, shout out to Megan Chamberlain for giving us that one question. It was about if it was an animal that you could eliminate, what was it? I remember
Great
that.
question.
Good question.
Anyway, so our question this week comes from my brother Benjamin, and he wants to know, what was it like to be the first person in heaven? Would have been Abel.
Hold on. First person.
First human person who
human
died and went to
person.
heaven, which would have been Abel.
Well,
First
hold
person
on.
killed on Earth.
I know there's some people out there that, like, when you die, you automatically go to, like, the tribulation. Like, you kind of, like, fast forward to then. And then, like,
How do I
serious
politely
stuff on
say that
Earth.
theory is wrong?
I don't know, man. I've just heard some people think that.
I think those people are
And
wrong.
then, like, once that happens, then everyone goes up to heaven at the same time.
I think those people are wrong.
Okay. It's just a theory I've heard.
Yeah, I think that theory is very wrong.
Okay, you think do you have some proof to back that up, BMS student?
Yeah, the Bible.
Okay. Oh, man,
Read it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm disagreeing with whoever told you that.
Okay. No. Yeah, I've heard it from a couple people. I don't know.
I don't know why that. No.
I don't know. I'm not a huge reader of Revelation. Not gonna lie.
I love Revelation.
I don't.
It's my favorite book.
It would be your favorite book,
It's fascinating.
and not because you're a theorist.
It's a fascinating book.
I mean, it is, but like,
It's like a book that tells you what the end of days is going to be like. That's just fascinating.
yeah, but I don't know. For me, it comes to the point where just speculation is just dumb. And like,
Oh, yeah, there's
I've
plenty of
talked about
speculation.
and thought about Revelation. I don't want to say a lot, but like, I'd rather go read like Mark and like read about something that's applicable now. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
So like,
I didn't say it was most important, but it's fascinating.
no, that is very true.
So anyways, back to our original point.
Original point.
If you believe the normal line of Christian thinking that when humans die and they're under the covenant,
Right.
they go to heaven.
Right.
That's
Right,
our
okay.
baseline right now.
Baseline. Okay.
Let's think about this question in those terms. So when Cain killed Abel, we're led to believe he would have been the first person, unless there's some one scripture that just proves that all wrong, which there might be. I don't know. Some people like to bring up this one text and change everything it says. Besides the point. So, what would it be like, even if it wasn't
random bunny trail?
Even if it wasn't
baby
Abel,
miscarriages, do the babies go to heaven?
That's a big study. There's a book that has that in it called 1 Minute After You Die, and I believe it's by Erwin Lutzer, and he talks about that in his book, and I don't remember all the details, but it was really good. But back to our point, because that's a kind of a touchy subject.
Right, yeah, sorry. I was trying to prod
what would, even if it wasn't Abel, even if some conspiracy theorist out there has reason to say there was someone else before Abel, what would it have been like to be the first person in heaven?
That's interesting. I don't know.
I got to talk about him with this the other day. I talked to my brother.
Would it be empty?
Well, it wouldn't be empty.
You have, like, the angels.
Yeah, it wouldn't be empty. But what would it be like being the only human there?
That's if you're an introvert, that would be like heaven.
There it is. What did I tell you? Table banging.
I love table banging.
Anyways, so I talked to him about this the other day, and he compared it to when you're like the first person to arrive to a party.
Yeah.
And the host of the party's kind of like, "Hey, get comfortable. Everyone else will be showing up soon."
That's true. All right.
You think it was awkward?
Awkward in like what way?
I don't know. It feels like, like he said, like being at a party. If you walked into a party and you were like, I don't know, a high school freshman and everyone else was like college seniors, I think you'd feel a little out of place.
See, I don't think so, because like at a party you expect things, and I mean, you're not like blown in the face with like another spiritual realm. So you're going to be overwhelmed, I think, as it is. I think having people there would actually make it worse, because that's even more to take in, because you got all those people as well. So I think it's actually less... It's still a shock, but like not as shocking as it would be if there are other people there.
That's true.
Probably.
I think it just brings up an interesting line of thought. I mean, you have to think about, like, one by one, heaven actually filled up. How does that make you feel? I don't know why that seems like such a weird thought to me, that heaven started out with like 0 humans and slowly it filled up until now it's got well over probably a billion. Well over millions of billions. It's somewhere in there. I don't know.
At this point.
I don't know population sizes, densities.
Well, think, like, we're at like over 1 billion for the
I think we're at 7 billion.
Yeah, 7 billion. So like the past generation.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that was, but
it's
I'm assuming that's like at 1 billion as well. And then you got every other generation before that, like it's well over 1 billion.
Yeah.
Trillions and whatnot. So
it's a weird thought to think about the fact that there was the first. I never thought about that before. He brought up a really good point, because it's something I hadn't thought of, and I'd considered a lot of things. The first person in heaven ever. It's a weird thought.
Yeah.
You know what's even weirder thought?
Swimming in a swimming pool by yourself in heaven?
I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be swimming pools in heaven?
Maybe. It's supposed to be like a city, right? Well, no, because a city. So yeah, you don't exactly have lakes in cities.
Well,
I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
You could build a city around a lake.
I mean, you could. I guess there wouldn't be pollution there, so I don't know.
You could do anything.
Assuming there's a swimming pool there. Continue. Sorry.
Assuming. I think we can safely assume that. Why
I think I can safely assume that. Yes.
Why not?
Unless swimming pools are sinful in some shape or form. If you think swimming pools are sinful, let us know in the comments.
Sinful swimming pools.
Anyways, what was your point?
That was just...
Oh, I thought you were trying to say something and then I interrupted you with my
I don't think you did.
Okay.
I think I finished my thought.
Oh, okay.
So that's about our answer to the question. I would agree with him. It's kind of like being first to a party. You're just kind of there and you're waiting for something else to happen. I mean, I don't know if it would get lonely. I think you could talk to the angels. Because, we always talk about meeting famous biblical characters in heaven, but you have to assume they're not dead yet by that point. So, I guess you could just talk to God and talk to the angels. I guess this is a pretty sweet setup.
Yeah, it's
you
like...
get God all to yourself.
Yeah, it's not connected or anything. Or not connected, like crowded or...
Yeah.
Whatever.
I would say it's a tiny bit lonely, because you're suddenly ripped from your family. And you wouldn't complain about being in heaven, but I feel like you'd be a little bit lonely, but you'd have a great time.
Perhaps. I don't know. I think it'd be great as an introvert. You just go off.
Yeah.
Like, go think on your own. I would love it. Not gonna lie.
That sounds like a good thing.
Now, hold on. Clarification, because I'm not a huge student on the knowledge of heaven, where we're going. I know, horrible for me, but Is this city gonna like expand as people come, or like?
It's a great question. You would
'Cause if it's
say
a
it would
fa-
be safe to assume. Because
I mean,
that it's already the size it needs to be. Because
That-
the Bible
yeah, that's
says
probably
that
true.
there is
Yeah,
a place
that's true.
prepared for you. Jesus told his followers
You're
that.
right. Yeah. Okay.
So we're
you're
safe
right.
to assume, I think, that heaven is already at the size it needs to be for the capacity that it has.
That's true. But then, hold on. This brings in a whole nother aspect of like free will, and does God call different people, or is it all just kind of like, whoever comes.
We could do a whole radio
Oh my
show
gosh.
based on that question alone. Because, yeah, we have free will, but there's also a predestined plan.
I was reading this thing. What was it? Are you familiar with Calvinism?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know their whole shtick about how like God already knows whether you're being saved or not. If not, then too bad, or something like that.
They're an interesting people.
Yeah. Am I right in saying that? It's been a
Yeah,
while,
they
but-
highly believe in predestination. They
Right,
highly
okay.
focus. They don't just highly believe. They highly hyper-focus
Right,
on
okay.
predestination. It's a big thing for them.
Okay. Crazy stuff out there. I don't know.
Again, we could do a whole radio show based on predestination, God's will, Calvinism. That could be its whole own thing. But we don't have time to get into that.
No,
I'll ask the
no, we
second
don't.
question just to take us over to
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Because this one's an easy and I think fun one to talk
That's a
about.
fun question, by the way. I like that question.
Another fellow student, Brianna Carmela,
Brianna, thanks.
asked us, is SeaWorld like a farm or barn for water animals? My answer is no, right off the bat.
Hold on. Wait, say this question again.
Is SeaWorld, the attraction, like a barn or farm, I can't remember the exact wording, but you get the gist, for water animals? My answer is no.
Zoo for water animals.
Exactly.
Why would you think it's a barn? Barn's like, oh, I'm going to raise these cows and then eat them.
Exactly. Or sell them.
Or sell them.
Or milk them.
Or milk them, yes. I'm
I
not
would
going
say
to go
if you're
milk my
keeping
normals.
animals just for entertainment purposes and for viewing purposes, at that point it's a zoo, not a farm.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to go milk my normals.
What makes a farm, though? What should we?
Oh my
We have
gosh.
to technically define what a farm is, because I live on a farm, but we only raise the cows as pets.
I mean,
We don't grow any crops.
a farm is like when you basically grow all your own food. Essentially, like you have your fruit, you have your animals.
We're using
get
that
your milk.
definition. No, I would not say SeaWorld is a farm or
No,
a barn.
It's definitely not a farm.
I would say in no definition could SeaWorld be a farm or a barn. I would call it a zoo, like you said. That was my thought
Well, I mean,
process.
maybe you could say like, oh, so like, I'm sure the animals like they go in like a containment area. Maybe I'm
So do they do that in
assuming
zoos too?
Right. So are those barns? Because that's where you hold
No.
animals. That's what technically barns are.
I would say barns start on farms. Have you ever heard of a barn that wasn't on a farm or on display to be sold? Have you ever walked
No.
into a city and seen a barn?
No.
Exactly.
You're right.
I think barns mainly are in farms, and I don't think without a farm you cannot have a barn. I'm sure someone out there has built a barn somewhere that isn't a farm, but those are
Well,
like
I know some
outlying categories.
So like, actually, example of this. So when I was doing a project, and I had to read about this family that this German family back in World War II. Okay, well, the whole Holocaust thing was going on, which that has nothing to do with it, but just to give you an idea. So like, they had a barn and like stables and then like the house, but eventually like the barn burned down or something like that, and they just had stables. But they saw all their animals. You just put their animals in there and just did
In the
everything else.
stables?
So is that still a farm? 'Cause, I mean, they're technically still doing the same what they were doing. You just
I'm
not
not saying
barn
I'm not saying you cannot have a farm without a barn. I'm saying in order for it to be a barn,
Okay.
I would say it needs to be on a farm. You get what I'm saying? The farm is a farm no matter what.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
But I'm saying the
Okay.
technical term barn, usually, except for the odd case that may exist,
Right.
the outliers, it pertains to a farm.
Have you ever seen those barns with like the tobacco ads on the side of them?
Oh yeah, all over the place.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was a thing here in southern PA. Or not southern, sorry, western PA.
Shoot,
Because they're all
you had
around.
to bring those up, didn't you? Because they're not on farms.
No, they're not on farms. Well, I'm sure they used to be. Or unless,
Used to be. That's a good point then.
Well, I don't know their history. Like, maybe
No,
they're
they probably
built
were.
strictly for tobacco.
We're calling those outliers.
Outliers. Okay, sounds good.
And I'd say now we can move on to our next segment. So to answer your question, Bree, no.
No,
A
you're
SeaWorld is
wrong.
a zoo for water animals, not a farm or a barn.
Did she think they were?
I don't know. She just asked me.
Okay. Yeah, no.
I only
they're
receive the
zoos.
questions and answer them. I am but the mouthpiece
Okay. That sounds good.
of a higher power.
Alright, well, that sounds good. Looks like we can move on to our next segment, which is A Hole in the Wall, where I pick a business that isn't exactly the most normal or
Yeah,
common.
last week.
talk about
This
it.
better be better than last week.
This is better than last week. This
Let me
is
rephrase, I better enjoy it better than last week, because last week's was good, but a terrible company.
so. Shannon, how do you feel about Swedish people?
I don't think I've ever actually met one, but I'm sure they're nice.
How do you feel about Germans?
Sure, they're nice.
Sure. Okay. You know what those two have in common?
Oh, wait, don't tell me.
Sorry, no, not
Is it
Swedish.
cheese?
Swiss. I'm sorry, Swiss.
It's cheese.
There's that
No, don't tell me. It's banks.
probably.
Knives.
Everyone has that. It's not
The
fair.
Swiss knives. And those are very common. You know, Swiss Army knife.
I guess. No.
So, it's coffee.
No, not that's Finnish. Those are Finnish people.
All right, okay.
Alphorns.
What?
Alphorns.
Alp horns?
Yes, Alphorns.
So, like-
Do you not know what an Alphorn is?
Are they those big ones they blow in like the Ricola commercials and stuff?
In the what commercials?
Ricola.
What's Ricola?
It's a cough drop.
Oh, the cough drop.
I mean, those huge horns you blow in the hills?
Yes, they're really long.
Yes.
You
Oh, yes.
kind of just sit them in front of you, and they kind of just like curve
Yeah.
up, and that's where you prop them. They go "Whirr," and stuff
Now,
like
this
that.
sounds fun.
You blow into it. Wow, you can actually buy your own Alphorn if you want.
Don't
By-
tempt me.
By craft, well, hold on, you might not want to by the end of this. So, by the craft makers in Swiss and Germany, and you can find them. I actually was like, I was kind of looking over the place. Some people, like, I saw websites, and like, some people don't make them anymore. They just do lessons. But some of them do. And the one that we're going to talk about today is Alphorn Center,
Mm.
which I'm going to warn you, their website is in like 3 different languages. Neither of them are English. However, you can like Google Translate, speak English, or not
Oh,
speak
good.
English, but like read English. And
We know they're authentic.
I
then.
think it's okay. Like, it doesn't seem like it's really weird translation in most places. But anyways, Alphorn Center, where this is their shtick. Okay? The world. Oh, what was it? The world's largest selection of Alphorns.
The world's largest selection of Alphorns.
Mhm.
Wow.
Exactly.
Never a sentence I thought I needed to
Also
hear.
the cheapest
Oh, the cheapest.
and largest selection of Alphorns.
I'm getting the feeling cheapest doesn't mean a whole lot here.
I wouldn't be too sure, but just go with it. So the
Like,
guy that
cheapest when compared to the rest might just mean like they're $5 million instead of 50.
it's not that much, no. So this guy, his name, I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm sorry, but Franz Schluzel.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Franz.
I'm sorry, Franz. I'm really botched. I'm part German.
And
I'm
you
mostly
can't even
Polish,
pronounce
but
this
I'm
man's name.
I know. I'm sorry.
Shame
I
on you.
tried.
and your
I really
ancestors.
tried, and like I even looked it up how to pronounce. I still can't do it. Us Americans, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so this website is this is a plethora of knowledge and resources for Alphorn
Wow.
makers. Like I'm not joking. And they have videos too. So there's a bunch of different like places you can go, but we're gonna target just like the main ones that you'll be interested in. So there's a learn how to play Alphorn page where it has YouTube videos
Mm-hmm.
of like how you can start practicing.
Oh, I
and,
know what
like,
I'm doing
the
over Christmas
essentials
break.
are. The videos are in like Swiss, but there's subtitles.
Oh, good.
So it's the one I saw. I don't know about all of them, but there's subtitles. Okay. Yeah. So that's okay. FYI, just a little fun fact: Alphorns have 10 to 12 tones.
Wow. 10 to 12 in an Alphorn?
Yes, which compared to a piano, which has 100.
That's not bad, though,
But
for
like
a horn.
considering like an Alphorn, you don't have any fingerings. Like it's all done by the mouth.
That's an impressive feat.
So so you change tone and notes based on that. So, just a little FYI. You play Alphorns, and I know I'm getting more to about Alphorns and less about the business, but you gotta know it to understand what you're looking
give
at.
us some
So
background information.
You play
on these
Alphorn
things.
like you would a brass instrument, like a trumpet, trombone.
Makes sense.
Have you ever done any of those?
I played the flute.
That's not a brass. Well,
No, it's not. It's a wind.
no, that's yeah. You're right. It's a wind. But yeah, so it's a brass instrument, but they are wood. so it's not like your traditional brass instrument. Anyways, and they should claim that before Alphorn's, they claim that Alphorn's one of the easiest to learn, like the mouth structure and like playing it. So they suggest that you learn how to blow with an Alphorn first before you move on to a trumpet. Or
sense.
if you already do one of those, you can go to the Alphorn. It'll improve your technique because of how easy it is. So, anyway, so there's courses you can find or buy, and they also have like a little page on tips on what Alphorn to buy.
What Alphorn to buy?
Yeah. So hold on, let me bring it up. I'll give you some
biggest, coolest Alphorn.
I mean, if that's what you want to do.
I want the biggest Alphorn, and I want to set it up on my roof.
I don't think you want
and just
to
go at it.
These things get pretty big. I'm not gonna lie. All right. So in my translated English page it's in German. I was incorrect. The page is in German. Anyways, so they have three steps. So three. So number one is you gotta compare instruments. So like you gotta find what's best for you. So I mean, pretty self-explanatory. The bigger the instrument, the harder it is to play. Generally.
Biggest. I want the biggest.
Okay, sounds good. Number two, toning and intonation, which I don't know what intonation means.
Intonation is when I think you use what do you call it? That tuning fork? When you tone, you match it to a
metronome?
tone.
Not a metronome.
No, like tuning fork.
Okay.
Or like
a tuner.
Sort of. I think
Maybe,
you take the tuning fork and you bang it against something, and whatever note it plays, you match it with your Alphorn.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that, or do.
Yeah, so there's that, and then three is I skipped to that. So yeah, there's speech and sound. So like lighter instruments are easier to play, heavy ones are more difficult because of how much more you have to blow. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the gist of that. Let's move on to the anything else. Build your so let's move on to like the different types of Alphorns.
How many are there?
Well, the selection that they have here, which apparently the full name is Alphorn. Sorry, what was it? Alphorn. They're either Alphorns or Shepherd horns. It's like a dual name. So, anyways, so there's a lot. There's easily at least 20 here.
20 varieties of Alphorns.
At least. All right. So let me just go through a couple.
That's a lot of horns.
The Franz horn is pretty much the one Alphorn that everyone knows.
Yeah.
Pretty self-explanatory. Big and long. Yeah, what everyone knows. Oh wait, sorry. Am I mixing that one up? Oh no, sorry. So I was incorrect. So the Franz horn is the standard one. The one I was talking about is what I said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the one I was saying I meant earlier was the Franzend horn. So think of so you know how it curves at the bottom?
Yeah.
Alphorns? The Franzend horn doesn't have the curve at the bottom. It's just a long
that seems ineffective.
It does seem ineffective. Well, maybe it's like you have you hold it like with a pole with one and you blow it out, or maybe prop it up. I don't know. There's the Fleck horn, which it looks like it's similar, maybe a bit smaller. The Franzchen horn, or the beginner Alphorn. The Flight horn, or the hiking Alphorn, which I'm assuming are smaller. Yeah, they are smaller. They have less of a curve as well. It's a type of Franzen horn. Alphorn in B flat or C. The walking stick Alphorn. No joke, is in the shape of a walking stick, which is actually kind of funny because the end of it where you blow out, not where you blow out of, like the end of it where the sound comes out, it's actually almost pointed back towards you almost.
That seems like it would be really dangerous.
How's that dangerous?
If you blow that thing loud enough and it blows back at you, you're going to blow your eardrums out.
It's the sign of like a walking stick. It's small. It's not going to produce that loud of a noise.
So is a pistol. You ever find a pistol right beside your head? Yeah, it's really small until you can't
gunpowder
hear anymore.
Involved. These don't have gunpowder involved.
They're horns.
Okay, fine. Whatever. You know it. Anyways, the saxophone, or sousaphone Alphorn, which, do you know how, like... Okay, so you know how, like, saxophones look, right?
Yes.
Well, think the opposite. It's shaped the opposite way. That's pretty much how these things look.
Weird.
Yeah. Except, so, well, yeah, so like the neck of, see where you blow out, it kind of goes down, it goes past your waist, and then comes back up all the way, like way above your head, and then it curves out.
I want one of those.
So almost like a cross between a saxophone and then a tuba.
I want one of those. That's the kind I want to play.
I,
That or those classic ones. I'm going to set it on my roof and just go at it.
alright. I don't think that's the one you want. There's big ones. I won't go through all of these. I'll point out some more interesting ones. The Rigi, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like... never mind. That's not what I thought it was. That's also not what I thought that was. So basically, there's like a bunch of other Alp horns that just have different keys. Those are the herdsman horn, which is like a small one. And
I don't
those are
want
the...
small, I want big.
Hold on, this is it. The sub bass Alp horn.
Now, that sounds impressive.
This thing, I don't even know how to describe this. So, okay, so you have the mouthpiece, right? It goes down to your feet,
Yeah.
and then it comes back up to your head, and then it goes down to your feet again, and then it comes back up to your head, and then it comes out, and there's like the big opening. So it's almost like a big zigzag.
Yeah, I want that one.
It's pretty big.
I'm going to set it up on my roof. I live in a valley, so
Perfect.
I'm going to just go at it and just play that thing all day long.
All right. So that's that. Those are pretty much it. The different types of Alp horns that they offer. All right.
And how much would one of these set us back?
Well, that's the thing. Now, hold on. I gotta find. I meant to do the math earlier, but I forgot. So we gotta convert euro to US dollars. I didn't do that earlier. So, oh dear. Okay.
Now, these are handmade.
These are handmade. It's gonna be pricey.
I'm going to guess
so
for a normal, what's a baseline for the normal Alp horn? I'm going to say $500.
$500.
That's my guess. Don't tell me if I'm wrong, just tell me the exact price. $500.03. Not including import taxes.
Okay, yeah, this is not including like shipping or anything. It's just like base
$500.
price. All right.
500.
Do you want the euro amount first, or do you want the price?
Just the dollar amount. We're in America, Eddie.
$2,187.
Wow.
And 81 cents.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's like 1,850 euros. by the way.
That's a lot of dollars.
That's a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure that's like their cheapest.
Yikes. Okay. Well,
Their cheapest one. Yeah, it's pretty. Oh no, hold on. There's a cheaper one. Hold on.
yeah. Again,
That was the
cheaper is
Franzen
relative.
horn that I was looking. That's like the top-notch Alp horn. The
Cheaper
one
is
that doesn't
relative,
hurt.
my friend.
My apologies. I thought I grabbed that. So, the standard one is $1,525.
That's better then.
Yeah, that's like $600 less.
If
That's
you
a
have
bit
an extra
better.
$1,000 laying around and you want a big horn,
There you go. And that's the standard, okay? You could get the walking stick Alp horn. Okay?
if that's somehow more expensive,
Oh, it's not.
oh good.
That is $130.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
That's not bad at all. No.
How about the sub bass one? Tell me the
Sub bass.
scared me with
hold
the
on.
price of the sub bass horn.
I'm kind of scared. Not gonna lie. Looking at the size of this thing.
I'm gonna say.
It's price on request. They don't give you prices. So I
you're
guess,
gonna have to price.
I guess
on
it
request.
depends. That's kind of sad, but yeah, that's
Probably really too expensive. That's why they don't put it on the web.
Oh, the saxophone sousaphone Alp horn. We'll go with that. Oh, that's the same as the other one. As the Franzen horn, the 2,187 one. So yeah, that's what Alp horns cost.
That's crazy.
And that's without shipping or anything.
Man, that's crazy. And import taxes. You can't forget import taxes.
Well, that too, yes.
Man,
So,
they would probably come out. You'd probably go around to like $3,000.
that's pretty crazy.
Ugh.
I mean,
Those
that makes
horns-
sense because I'm sure they're not the most popular instrument ever.
I guess.
That's
but
probably why they're so
damn.
expensive.
Can you imagine like paying $3,000 for a horn?
That's pretty nuts. I could probably buy a trumpet for like a tenth of that.
For less than a tenth of that.
Yeah, probably. That's pretty crazy.
That's just insane.
Well, yeah, so they're pretty expensive, but don't worry, Shaner, because this site has you. Do you know why they have you?
Why do they have me?
Because they have instructions to build your own Alp horn.
Well, I know what I'm doing over Christmas break.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Hold on, the cheapest Alphorn in the world. Okay, it's pretty much you take PVC pipe and tape. That's all it is, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, and they have instructions too. So they have like a PDF that you can download. Unfortunately, it's all in German, so you're gonna
Slight
have
problem.
to. What's the one? We're gonna have to.
Translate?
Yes, sorry, translate that whenever you can. However, I think they have actually the thing. Oh, here we go. Okay, so they do have it on their website. You can just Google Translate like that. There's a lot of different. There's like a total of 12 pieces you need to get.
Still not bad.
Okay?
PVC pipe's not that expensive.
No, it's not that expensive at all. And now that's not including the mouthpiece. I don't know like how the mouthpiece works with all of that. Yeah. Excuse me. It looks like you have to get like a traditional mouthpiece.
Oh, I
Like a
see.
metal mouthpiece,
Build your
so-
own, except for this one piece.
Well, the mouthpiece is like cheap. Oh no, you could use a trumpet mouthpiece. They said.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to. So yeah, there are instructions there. So yeah. I don't like. I'm assuming, based. No, I don't. They have like the euro prices there, so I don't know what it's like in the U.S. But PVC pipe isn't that expensive.
It isn't.
So there you go. If you want to build your own Alphorn, which that might be. I might have to do that.
Yeah, we
Sounds
should build
kinda fun.
Alphorns.
We should build.
Play them in harmony.
That'd be a good episode if we ever like took this out of the studio.
Yeah, or we bring them into the studio and put the
That is an
the
amazing
mouthpieces
idea.
right over the microphones.
I know what we're doing after during
Yeah.
this winter break. Are you doing anything during winter break?
Here and there, but not much.
Well, there we go.
We're building Alphorns.
We're building Alphorn.
Watch out, Greensburg.
Okay, that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions, Shaner? About that was Alphorn Center, by the way. You can Google it. The site's there. So yeah, there you go.
That was pretty fantastic.
But yeah, I'm glad you liked that better than last week's.
I did, yeah. You know why I liked it?
Because you don't like mushrooms and
Because
coffee.
this made sense. Mushrooms and coffee don't make sense. I will
All right,
die
all
on
right.
this hill.
All right. You're allowed to have your opinion, even though like.
I think I'm allowed to have
a
my
lot more
facts.
Facts. You know what? They put pineapple on pizza. Okay, that's not
different.
facts. No, that is not
It's
different. That's
different.
the same
It's
thing.
a whole different thing.
How's that different?
You put tomatoes on pizza.
They're not. Okay, they're technically a fruit, but they're not sweet.
Tomatoes are sweet.
Oh, I guess they are. Yeah. Okay.
What are you
sorry.
talking about?
No. You're right. My bad. You're right. Fine, Shaner.
Just another sweet fruit. You don't hear me saying, "Oh man, my coffee wouldn't go good with mushrooms," but you know what it would go good with? Some roots. Doesn't make sense. At all. No logic. Just eat the mushrooms. Raw, cook them, I don't care. Just don't put them in your coffee.
Haters gonna hate. What are you gonna do?
Haters are gonna hate what doesn't work. What deserves hate.
All right, fine, whatever. Be that way.
Four Sigmatic deserves hate.
They're Finnish. They're so nice. Everyone knows Finnish
Stop
people are...
putting mushrooms in coffee. This shouldn't have to be something I have to say on the air.
All right. Okay. That's another t-shirt, by the way. Don't put shrooms in coffee.
Yeah, don't put shrooms in your coffee.
All right. So on to our next segment, which is the Bible Spark Notes version.
What about our student of the week?
Oh,
Did they not deserve to be
You
recognized?
are absolutely right, Shaner. I
Ouch.
apologize. All right. So our student of the week. I'm not gonna lie. I completely forgot about this. So hold on. We're gonna. We're going to not randomly pick someone because that's definitely not what we do every week. I'm going to go back to the recesses of my mind and think of someone that really deserves it. All right, Shaner?
Me.
You?
I deserve it.
Our student of the week is Madison Schwartzmiller.
Good job, Madison.
Good job, Madison.
And he appreciates you more than me.
You're on the show!
I've never been student of the week.
Neither have I!
Yeah, but you do the segment.
Okay, I'm never the business of the week. Your point?
You don't have a business.
I'm a journalist, thank you very much.
Is that
Freelance is the name. I am
Are
my
you
business.
freelancing?
Sometimes, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I write not like a lot, but like I write for a blog, and then I shout out to Rapzilla.com, by the way.
Oh,
And,
okay. Yeah, I've seen you on
yeah.
Twitter with them.
Yeah, and then I've done some stuff with the Greene County Messenger before they decided not to pay anyone because of.
Well, at least
COVID.
you're freelancing. I didn't know you were
Yeah.
freelancing.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I do that from
Good
from
job.
time. Like I said, I don't do the Messenger now because they're not paying, and I don't. And I shouldn't say I don't enjoy writing with them, but I'd just rather be doing other things with my time and writing about other things.
Ooh.
So I know I hate me.
Not you. I was booing them.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, if they're listening, I don't know.
Shot myself in the foot. Anyways, so Student of the Week. We already did that. All right, so now to our segment, the
The
Bible.
Bible Spark Notes edition.
Dun, dun, dun.
Da, 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 da.
So Shannon forgot his phone, so he doesn't have.
I don't have the exact scriptures, but it's a story you know, just still weird because we haven't talked about it yet, and it's one of the more unique stories in the Bible, and that is the story of Gideon.
Spaghetti. Oh, sorry.
Gideon.
Gideon. My bad.
Spaghetti is a talk for a later day.
Sorry, continue.
The story of Gideon. Now, if you're familiar at all with the story of Gideon, it involves the Philistines.
Always the Philistines.
All good Old Testament stories about enemies attacking the Israelites, it's always the Philistines.
Always
Not always,
half the time.
but a majority of the time, it's the Philistines. And they come, they take over, and there's a lot of them. You know the gist. It's how every story like this starts. And
Death.
God sends an angel to this man named Gideon. Now, Gideon is just hanging out. He's just in a wine press. He's probably making some wine or grinding up some wheat to make bread. You didn't know that?
Okay.
Yeah, he starts
Why
out in
would-
the wine press.
Oh, okay.
And the
oh,
angel
that's
finds-
actual fact. I thought you were just guessing that's what he was doing. It's like, what made you think?
No, he's in a wine.
Sorry,
the angel
okay.
finds him in a wine press.
Okay.
And the angel tells him he's going to command the Lord's army. He's going to command the Lord's army he's going to raise up. And you can imagine, I mean, it's like God coming to us, you know? None of us have ever been in the military. I don't think either of us wants to go into the military.
No, I don't.
But imagine an angel showed up one day and was like, hey, you're leading an army. I'd be a little freaked out.
Yeah.
And so is Gideon. And he argues with the angel back and forth for a little bit. I can't do it. I'm not ready to do it. And then he says, fine, okay, I have a test for you. And he tells the angel, see this sheepskin? And he has sheepskin for some
randomly
reason.
has a sheepskin in his wine pressing area.
And he says, I'm going to leave this on the ground. When I come out tomorrow, I want the wool to be soaking wet with dew, but the ground to be completely dry. And the angel says, okay, and Gideon comes back out the next day, and it's so. You know, it's like what he said. And then he asks him for the reverse. He wants the ground to be wet, but the wool to be dry. And the same thing happens. He comes out the next morning, and it's happened. So he gives up trying to fight God, and he's like, okay, I'll lead this army. So then you get all the army together, and they've got a bunch of men. Not enough, mind you. Still not enough. The Philistines, it says, were like the sand on the beaches. That's how many there were.
That's a lot.
Innumerable. There was a
Yeah.
lot of Philistines.
It's a lot.
So they got together an army. I believe the first number was 700. 700 Israelites come to fight under Gideon. And Gideon says, you know what? It's too much. We have too many men. And people are like, what do you mean too many men? We have 700 and we need more. And Gideon tells them, you know, hey, or maybe it was God that told him. It's been a while since I've read this story. But either way, the point of the story remains the same.
Right.
They figure out, if we go to fight with 700 men and we win, it won't be because God helped us. People will say it's because we had 700 men.
Right. Okay.
So they get a test. And they tell the men to go take a break from training and go drink from a stream.
Okay.
And they all go down to the stream.
Okay.
And some people pick the water up in their hands
Right.
and drink it from their hands. And some people lean down into the water and drink straight from the stream.
Right. Okay.
And Gideon says all the people that drank from the stream like dogs have to go away. And so they did. And now they're down to less men than they had before. I can't remember that exact number. I want to say it was 300.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, they get down to a really small number. Through a series of tests, they get down to a really small number of people. They don't have a lot now. They didn't have enough before, and they certainly don't have enough now. And now they're figuring out how they're going to fight the Philistines. I mean, you can't go head-to-head with them. You'll lose instantly. It's basic math. So they come up with this plan. It's an incredible plan. They take torches,
Mm-hmm.
and they put them under jars.
Right.
And everyone has torches under jars. And there's trumpets. And they surround the Philistine camp. So the Philistines are down in this valley, and everyone's up on the hills. And whenever they're ready, they wait till nightfall when all the Philistines are asleep. And they start shattering the jars, waving the torches. Maybe one person has 2 torches.
Right.
And they start blowing the trumpets. And they just cause a whole bunch of confusion. The Philistines have no idea what's going on. They were asleep. How many times have you woken up and you're confused? You're disoriented.
Sometimes, yeah.
So imagine you wake up and people are shouting that you're under attack. And they started fighting each other. The Philistines started fighting the other Philistines. And eventually they got scared and they ran off.
The Philistines did not have friendly fire on.
They did not, sadly. So, he beats an entire army by not fighting them.
Alright, there's a lot in that story to unpack.
There is.
So let's
It's
take
a great
this part
story.
one by one. So the fleece. First of all, whenever you heard the story, my disbelief is how much patience God gave Gideon to do that. Because I know some things are but should I do this? And God's like, nope, not punish, but no, punish for your disbelief.
He gives him a lot of leeway here, a lot of credit.
Why did he do that? That's my question.
It's a good question. It doesn't really say. He just wanted some proof. Maybe God was feeling generous and was like, fine, you know what? I'll give you your proof. And he wasn't and I don't think it came from a place of arrogance, I think is the better word. It wasn't your normal testing. Some testing in the Bible, it comes from arrogance. Oh, if you're God, do this.
That's
and then
true.
we'll
That's
see
true.
if you're really God.
Okay.
But this came from a place of, does God really want me to do this? Am I really worthy? Am I really ready? Let's find out. So I think it came from a place of actual needing proof rather than just trying to disprove God out of a place of arrogance.
I mean, fair enough, but twice? First time, okay, fine, but twice he put them
he's being
through a
asked to do a
test.
big thing. He's not just being asked to go and, go and speak God's word. He's asked to lead an entire army against the biggest villain I think the Israelites faced that outnumber the sands on the shore. I think I'd want a little proof. Could have been maybe a freak accident could have caused it the first time. Who knows?
Okay, but
I see where you're coming from.
God came to Moses in a burning bush. He was like, hey, do this. And Moses is like, well, maybe no. And God's like, too bad. You're doing it anyway. So, by the way, we're taking away, we're going to add a speaker to you. So it, discredits you a little bit. Because you can't speak and stuff.
Well, I think
And
also
that's not
God
exactly
appeared in
how-
a burning bush there.
That's not exactly how that worked, but yeah.
I would say it's not really known why he was allowed to test him twice, but I think that it was because of where it came from.
Okay. All right. Well, possibly.
Gideon
Who am I
didn't
to
necessarily
judge?
just say no like Moses did. Gideon asked for proof. And I think because he asked for proof, why he asked for proof, he was allowed to have
You
it.
got asked by an angel. What more proof do you want?
Well, the angel probably didn't look like,
Fiery
wings.
Well,
bright lights.
okay, I didn't consider that.
I mean, most of the times when you see an angel in the Old Testament, it just
Oh.
looks like a traveler.
I didn't think about that
Yeah.
because it says angel, and so I assume I think however the Bible pictures an angel, which
Yeah,
I know
no,
is
I'm
not a
talking about-
traditional image, but
If you look
I
at,
think
like-
celestial being just pop out of nowhere and be like, "Hey,
Yeah, no, if you look at stories of Abraham and Lot
Okay.
in the Old Testament, whenever Abraham met the Lord and 3 angels, they look just like travelers.
that makes a well, yeah." But then the Bible usually says that. Then it's like, "Oh, angels appeared in the form of travelers and went that way."
Not
I mean, I
necessarily.
don't know how the text reads, and we don't have it in front of me, but
It could also be a translation thing.
maybe, perhaps.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume,
Okay.
based on my knowledge of it, that the angel didn't appear as a celestial being, but rather appeared
Okay.
as someone Gideon could talk to,
All right.
and that's why he needed some proof.
I can understand.
I think
that.
it was okay because it didn't come from a place of arrogance. It came from a place of, am I really worthy?
Well, then, if it's a person, then I totally get it. Because
Yeah.
then, you could just be some random dude claiming to be an angel, and then, that I get. Okay. I thought it was just celestial beings. So, we have 15 minutes left in this show, roughly.
We
we
can
wanna-
still unpack this story, I think. I don't think we'll need that much time. to
Well,
talk about
no,
it.
that's what I'm saying. Do we want to leave this for, a part 2 for next show? Because, or next movie, we still have to talk about our movie.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take us that long to talk about.
You don't
it.
think so? All right, let's continue on. So, next part, the drinking from the horses.
Drinking
No, it's
from
not-
the stream. Drinking from the horses?
Sorry, I was thinking.
I sure hope not. The horses
No,
will
sorry.
pee and you'll drink it.
the soldiers drinking from the stream and then Gideon eliminating them.
Yes.
I wonder what the basis was of. Like, well, I remember. This was a very long time ago, but like there was an argument that like there was a reason why the specific.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Specifically, the people that drank from the stream like a horse. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. There was a reason for it.
Well, there's a
cannot
reasoning.
remember.
The reasoning is because it's less. It's animalistic to drink from the stream like that, like a horse. Well, like human, like you're more dignified because you're scooping up.
Yeah,
your hand
that
and
was it.
drinking.
Yeah.
Which actually, now that I think about it, I disagree with, because when you pick it up with your hands, you're getting all the germs that are on your hands.
Yeah, but it's still sophisticated. It's whether or not you're.
Yeah, but it's
acting
more
like an
safe if
animal.
you drink from the stream.
We're not talking about safe. Safety was not their priority back then.
I mean, okay, fine.
They didn't have the CDC looking over their shoulder telling them what to do.
Okay. Fine.
It was about
way.
sophistication, not about how clean it was.
All right.
Either way, it
all
was
right.
going to be dirty. Your hands were always
Well,
dirty.
if it's a
you
running
watched.
stream, it's a lot safer. That's the. I mean, I don't know if it's a running stream. I'm assuming it's a running stream.
Yeah, but it wasn't about what was safe, because it was a running stream, like you said. It was about sophistication.
I don't know.
It was
It could've
about
just
not
been
looking
random.
like. It was
You
about
get-
not looking like a horse.
Okay. Again, it's like, oh, which one can we cut the most people with? Oh, yes, that one. Let's do it.
No, I think it had a point. I think it was sophistication.
Maybe. I don't know. There was a second way that he eliminated him. There was a second.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but there was a
Neither
second
do
way.
I, and I want to say it had to do with candles.
Candles.
I want to say.
Who screamed the least from dropping candle wax on their eyebrows?
That could be it. But yeah, I don't remember what the other way was, but needless to say, it eliminated a lot of men.
It eliminated a lot of men. All right, anything else you want to talk about that? I got nothing else.
No, I think that was good.
True story. Okay. Do we want to move on to these more you want to talk about?
No, I think we're good. Let's take this rest of the time to talk about
Or
our movie.
sponsor, our possible
Oh.
sponsor.
Our possible sponsor is Sheets.
I work at Sheets.
I know you work at Sheets. Sheets, if you sponsor us, we will eat your food. I will eat
See, I don't know.
all of your food. See, I'm not accustomed to it. I love jalapeno
Yeah.
poppers, and Sheets makes really good jalapeno poppers.
Do they? I don't like jalapeno poppers unless they're homemade. Unless they're homemade, like they just don't taste good.
I think
enough.
they're good from the pack. I could eat them anyway.
Okay.
But the better ones have cream cheese in them. That's one thing Sheets doesn't do. They're still good, but cream cheese jalapeno poppers are better than
Next
cheddar.
time you come over, see, I like a mix.
Ooh, a mix.
A mix of cheddar and cheddar, or not cheddar. Sorry,
Cream cheese?
cream cheese. Yes, thank you.
I've never had a mix.
Next time you come over, I make jalapeno poppers sometimes.
I will
wrapped
take you
in-
up on that offer.
They're not fried though. I don't
That's
fry them.
fine.
They're jalapeno. I mean,
You
get
wrap
the
them in
pepper.
bacon, don't you?
Yes, I do add them in bacon. So I mix up the cream cheese and the
Yeah.
cheddar mixture, whatever, and then I I put it in, and then I wrap bacon around it. And
That
then
sounds
just throw it in the
amazing.
oven. Oh, it's really good. It's also really hot. Because jalapenos.
I can imagine.
not-
Jalapenos are hot? What?
They're really hot.
What? No.
Well, I don't know. Like once you get them from the store, they're a lot hotter than what you get from like Sheets.
That's true.
Or like anywhere else. I don't know what it is. I guess they get like a milder version because there's like a I forget, I don't want to say it's like a fake jalapeno, but it's like a jalapeno that is
Jalapeno light, L-I-T-E.
pretty much, yeah.
Diet
But it
jalapeno.
looks like jalapeno. It tastes like jalapeno for the most part. It just is not nearly as spicy.
That's another shirt idea. Diet jalapeno. Jalapeno light.
Dude, if we ever like make this a thing, we're gonna have the greatest shirts.
And the way we can do that is
slogans
being
ever.
is our sponsors. So Sheets, if you're out there, I love your food.
Or
I love your
listeners,
drinks.
you can like share this and like, if we get more than 1,000 views consistently on YouTube, we'll get ads. Fun
Yeah.
fact. So
Wait, do we really want to be those people that put ads in their videos?
that's how you get money. That's how you get paid from.
But do we want to
YouTubes.
sacrifice our morals for this?
We have a section called possible sponsor.
Yeah, but see, it's not annoying.
That's true. I would totally do it. I have no problem with that. If I'm getting paid, I have no problems with doing it. I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Do we get
Now,
to
if it's
control
like
the
a
ads?
sponsor that like we choose, and like they're specifically sponsoring us, then I'm going to be picky. But like if it's like YouTube, I don't care. Whatever. You could have like political ads running my thing for all I care, as long as I'm getting paid from YouTube.
That's fair, but
It's
also
like it's out
ads
of
are
my
annoying.
control. Because it's out of my control, I don't care.
Anyway.
Anyways.
We'll agree to disagree on
Alright,
ads.
fine.
I hate ads.
So, now to our next section. They're called B-movies for a reason. And this is the shortest movie that we've ever reviewed, Shaner.
It is.
You want to tell them how long it was?
This movie was 29 minutes long, counting the credits.
Counting the credits. It was even short, and the intro, which I guess is part of the movie. But anyways, it's short. It's really short. The movie is called Thumb Wars. Which in no relation is stealing from Star Wars at all.
No,
not
totally
at
not.
all. 100% not. It is completely original content.
Yes.
So original that they parody Star Wars by accident.
Yes, you know. Even some of the shots just replicated were total accidents.
Total accidents.
How do we even know this? You know what? Maybe George Lucas saw this and thought, imagine if they weren't thumbs.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe this movie came first, and George Lucas parodied it with Star Wars. Maybe this movie is the original.
You never know. You never know.
It is quite possible.
It's not. It came out in like 98, was it?
It was released in 99.
Yeah, 90. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, it came out.
I'm saying
before
they
CDs.
made it,
Ah, I see.
and George
Okay.
Lucas copied them, beat them to the box office, and they had to release it later as a parody.
Maybe. Corporations, how dare they? So if you haven't figured it out by now, Thumb Wars is a parody off of The New Hope, Star Wars The New Hope. It's a straight all parody.
It's entirely made up of thumbs.
And all the people are thumbs, yes.
Everyone.
But, well, mostly everyone.
Yeah, there's like one character that isn't.
Well, there's one alien that's like toes, a foot and toes.
That's still a thumb.
And there's
Well, no,
like-
you're right, that's not a thumb.
And there's like,
Thumb.
what was the one? Jabba the Hutt, aka Gabba the Butt, which was
Gobble the butt.
someone's face upside down,
Really
except you
clever.
cut it off at the nose. So it's just like their lips and chin, except upside down. It was clever. It was cleverly done.
It's
Probably the best creativity in the entire movie.
Now, the man that made this film is named... did you write that down?
I did not write it down.
He's a
It was
British-
really funky name.
He's a British filmmaker, and he has made a series of these thumb films, just
He
to
has.
know.
Which
there
we'll-
is...
Well, do we want to get into it now?
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna do it later. But let's get into this. So, like I said, it's like shorter than 29 minutes, and it's basically a repeat parody of Star Wars: A New Hope. So you have the director intro, which what was that intro even about? I don't even remember.
It was about the
yes.
intro. The man who directed it, I want to say his first name was Steven,
I think it's Steven too. Yeah.
and he's introducing the concept of the thumbs as people.
He's like, I was really weird when these people showed up, but now they're my favorite friend.
Yeah, and
then,
he meets his little friend, the thumb.
which the thumbs, by the way, they're not like googly eyes. They're like thumbs, and then it's
If you've ever watched The Annoying Orange,
yes,
this is like that from 1999, but they're
Yeah.
thumbs and not fruit.
exactly. And if you don't know what that is, then it's basically
You're better off not knowing.
probably yeah. It's someone's like eyes and mouth photoshopped onto a thumb. We'll
It's
just go with
honestly
that.
creepy. It's unsettling.
It is unsettling. But anyways,
Also, we're not worrying about too many spoilers because this is Star Wars. If you've seen A New Hope, you
pretty
know
much-
what's going to happen.
yeah.
And if you haven't seen A New Hope, I'm sorry, we are way past the threshold of spoilers.
a bit, yeah. It's a way.
If you're listening to this and you haven't seen A New Hope, stop what you're doing,
go watch it.
go watch A New Hope, and the rest of the Star Wars movies, then come back.
Not even this. Like, just watch New Hope, and then you can come watch this, and you'll be fine.
But you should watch the rest
Oh,
of
you
the
should
Star
watch
Wars
the.
movies.
Well, that's debatable.
I will not debate
Some
on
would
this.
say you should just watch the first three and then just call it a day.
Some would be wrong.
I mean, I disagree with that. I think there's value
Just watch
in watching
all
them
the films and then come back.
Okay.
Go
Anyways,
marathon them all.
Yeah, so it follows the storyline and that, but it's also a big old parody, which I don't think we should ruin, like, the parody.
Oh no, we're not
parts
going to
of
ruin
it.
everything. I'm just saying in general terms of
Right.
talking about the plot line, it's basically just A New Hope. And again, we're not going to worry about spoilers because you should have seen A New Hope by now.
Should.
And if you haven't, we're way past the threshold for spoilers.
Anyway, so this is a parody, and this movie knows it's a parody. 100%.
Oh yeah, it doesn't
breaks
try
the-
to be serious.
It breaks the fourth wall multiple times.
It does.
And it makes really funny references. Do we want to get into the names, or we want to leave that hidden, do you think?
We can talk about a couple of them.
Okay,
Don't
so-
talk about all of them.
So the main character, of course, is, which would be Luke Skywalker, is Loke Groundrunner. Which,
Clever pun.
yes, if you don't get the pun, you want to explain that, sure? Or,
Yes, the pun is
Trainer.
he's called Ground Walker in this, but in the original film he's called Sky Walker.
Ground Sky, Walker Runner.
It's very funny.
It's pretty funny.
If you can't tell.
Why is he called Loke, we have no idea.
I think it's just they had to come up with something.
Yeah. My favorite in the movie. I'm gonna Obadoob Banubi. Sorry, it's
You gotta do his middle name. It's
Obadoob Scooby-Doo Banubi.
Which is obviously a parody. Oh, yeah, you did good.
Okay, good.
It's obviously a parody of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And yeah, they just like botch it up. Oh, it's terribly funny. And then like them trying to pronounce it the entire movie.
It's
comedy. Great. It's pure comedy. They also show a clever pun on Han Solo, which I won't spoil because I think that's a cool joke.
It is.
So.
And then it's fun to note, it's not really a spoiler, but it's fun to note Chewbacca comes in, and no spoiler really, he's called Crunchy. That's not really the point. But the funny part of it is, he's actually, if you didn't notice, he was a creature's toe or a thumb instead of a human thumb.
I figured as much.
He had a giant claw coming out of the top, so it was like a dog.
I thought that's what that was.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
I didn't notice it. Okay, background information, I've seen this film several times before I watched it with Eddie. I've seen this since my childhood. And there are still details I just noticed watching it again. So, yeah. So it's an attention to detail, I think. They didn't just, paint a thumb brown. They made like a little fake creature thumb, like a Bigfoot thumb they could use.
Which is nice.
It's funny it's good to note this movie pays attention to detail in ways it shouldn't. In ways it shouldn't as a parody film.
Yeah.
I would say that. Not a spoiler, all the bad guys, Darth Vader, who is Black Helmet Man.
Black Helmet Man.
Which reminds me of Spaceballs.
It did remind me of Spaceballs. I love that movie.
Dark Helmet. I mean, it had to have been a reference there. But Black Helmet Man and all of the Stormtroopers, I don't know what they're called. They don't reference them as by name.
I don't remember.
They all wear thymballs on their head, which you've ever been a kid and put a thimble on your thumb. You know what that's like.
Yeah.
So that's why they all had thimbles. It's a nice little detail,
That is true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Can my thumb even fit in a thimble at this point?
If you found a big enough thimble.
Probably, yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
Thimble.
So this movie pays a lot of attention to details that you wouldn't think it would, as a cheap budget parody.
Yeah. I don't know. There isn't much more to say about this movie because it's so
say
short.
A bunch about this movie. I think you're cutting it short.
Well, I mean, I don't want to because part of it's like so you already know if you already know like the timeline of New Hope, then it's pretty much the same thing.
Now it is important to note it does sprinkle in elements from Empire Strikes Back.
You're right.
The meteor chase scene, and it really condenses things. Obviously, A New Hope was over 2 hours long.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that, because I didn't know that, I was going to watch them. My fiance has never seen Star Wars, so I started to watch them.
Wait, you were telling me Cass has never seen Star Wars?
She hasn't. Well, she has.
Of all people, I would have thought.
I know.
What?
But we're working on it.
That blows my mind.
Right? So we started watching them from The Phantom Menace, and she said something to me about them all being 2 hours long, and I kind of, dismissed. I'm like, no, they're not. It's an hour and a half. They're old movies. New movies tend to be like 2 hours long. But then I looked into it. Every Star Wars movie is over 2 hours long, if not just under.
Yeah,
and I've seen these movies.
I believe that
dozens of times. This was my childhood. I don't know how I didn't know these movies were that long.
See, it's actually funny you mention that because for me, it's the opposite effect. Like movies seemed like a lot. Movies and like just like film in general seemed a lot shorter when I was younger, but now it seems like twice as long as it felt.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think. Well, okay, different movies. I'm just saying movies in general. I feel like we're shorter. Like,
Oh, they were shorter back
when
then.
we were kids. Like an hour and a half was a standard movie runtime. I think occasionally you get a 2 hour movie like The Shining. I think was 2 hours long. But I always felt like
that was your childhood movie, The Shining.
I just picked a random example that would have been out. Yes, I watched The Shining so many times. No, I hated horror movies. But I'm just saying, I always felt like an hour and a half was a standard runtime, and to find out that all those movies were like over 2 hours long really blew my mind.
Interesting, because I feel like the standard was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Really? What movies were you watching? Besides Star Wars, obviously.
Well, I mean, Star Wars, I watched a lot of that. I watched... Let's see, that's a good question. I'm trying to remember. See, my family is more into, like, TV shows. We didn't do a whole lot of movies.
Yeah.
We did some. I'm trying to, like, we did, like, the more, like, Kung Fu Panda, like, DreamWorks stuff, which Kung Fu Panda
is amazing.
Is, like, probably my favorite animated movie.
It's a great movie.
American animated, I should be specific. I love that movie.
If you're into good DreamWorks movies, have you ever seen Megamind?
I do. I didn't think it was that great. It wasn't
How
horrible.
dare you?
It wasn't horrible. I just didn't think it was...
It is one of their masterpieces.
It wasn't a memorable... It wasn't memorable enough, to be honest.
We do have to wrap this up.
We got like a minute.
Okay, so
let's wrap it up.
in the end, I want to talk about the other films. So just if you're interested, if you've ever seen Thumb Wars,
Oh yeah.
this man has made many other films. There is Franken-Thumb, the Blair Thumb, Thumbtanic. Take a lot of movies, add the word thumb, and you've
Shorten
made
it
them.
up, and there you go.
So if you're interested in thumb-based cinema, check them out. And if you're not, check them out anyways.
Now, where'd you rate this in our list of movies?
Oh, you're gonna make me rank this one?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm taking off my nostalgia glasses
Yes, please take
because
off those
otherwise
nostalgia
it would
glasses.
probably be near the top.
Yeah,
But I'm
okay.
gonna say Velocipaster, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, of course. Those two always have been number 1 and 2.
Okay.
And then we really need to write these down.
We should.
I'm just gonna say where I rank it. I'm gonna rank Thumb Wars above Guns of the Apocalypse, but below
Moose.
which one did we just watch?
Oh,
Helen Keller versus Nightwolves.
Helen Keller
I'm gonna
versus
rank it right in between those two.
Okay.
So that puts it, I think, at like number 4 or 5. We're gonna write these. I'm gonna write these down.
Yeah, I
later.
need to write those down because now it's getting a lot. So, anyways, my list. So, it's such a unique movie compared to everything else we've seen because it's
Yeah.
so short and it's it's so close to home to something else. So, I guess I kind of have to too because I like New Hope.
Yeah.
So okay, so my list from top to bottom. Out of the way. No, we got time. It's okay. So quickly, Velocipaster, Spaghetti Man, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. Crap, I forget what was in the next one. Crap. Well, we're gonna. Crap, I don't even know my.
We'll write
list
this
now.
down and we'll get back to you next week.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. I think for me, Thumbworks is probably gonna be the middle.
Yeah.
I think I liked Moose, the Moose movie, better than this, but it's probably gonna be around there somewhere. So we do need to go. Thank you everyone for listening live, and for those of you on YouTube, thank you for popping up on YouTube and listening to us. Shaner, how are we gonna end this?
Ooby doob, Scooby Dooby, Canooby.
Hold on, I gotta say this without botching up. Ooba doob, Scooby Doo, Banooby. Good night, everyone.